So, it is Friday. Hooray. We made it to another Friday, which is always nice. I mean, because of everything going on, I am unfortunately able to go to Rita's. I unfortunately am, not allowed to really, do much. And yeah, I know it's hard. It's difficult. I mean, I haven't been able to go anywhere without at least hearing about everything that's going on as of late. But I can say one good thing about all this. And funny enough, it actually comes in the form of the sort of sweepstakes that I entered. You're probably wondering what that is. Well, first things first, good morning, happy Friday, everyone. I think I already did that, but whatever. So, you guys know I've talked about this place several times in the past, but, Peas Macarons is doing a bit of a sort of sweepstakes thing where first you have to share the link publicly. You have to like it, obviously, on Facebook. And you then have to comment as to why. Excuse me. That was a tickle in my nose, I swear. A comment as to what has been keeping you sort of in a positive mood throughout these troubling times. And the winner of the sweepstakes would get like keychains and stickers, like sweaters, like merchandise or merch, if you will. So I don't know how I was able to pull this off. Actually, it really wasn't much to pull off. It was just simply thinking about it for a second. Actually, that's the funny thing. I didn't even need to think about it at all for what I commented. See, you guys know that, well, I've been saying this every video, that I've been visiting my parents, whenever I can. As I feel that, in a way, we both, my parents and I, need that sort of, company that, you can trust during, everything that's going on. And, it keeps the people from being lonely. They're not lonely. I'm certainly not lonely, even though I never really have truly felt, quote unquote, alone. But I just thought, the fact that, I'm visiting my parents a lot, and at the very least, it's making my mother feel well. Because, full disclosure, my mother works as a nurse. So, again, not a day goes by where I don't hear about everything that's going on, and everything in the medical profession is one of them. So, needless to say, if you have a mother who is a nurse, or if you're a nurse, believe me, I feel ya. I know exactly, I've been hearing all about, what's happening and how difficult it's been, all that. And I'm not going to pretend that, this isn't easy. Because I'm not going to pretend that it's easy. Because it's not easy. I totally just used the wrong grammar somewhere, I think. That's how tired I am. I am up a little bit earlier than normal because I do have stuff to do this morning before I get my day started. A couple things so far, I cleaned my apartment a little bit. Cleaned up my kitchen a little bit. Did some vacuuming. Vacuuming. I don't know why I just pronounced it like that. That was so silly of me. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I'd be a little more psyched about this weekend if, well, actually, now that I think about it, unless, well, keep in mind, this is, because let's be honest, no one would have thought that the whole coronavirus and social distancing thing was going to be a thing by this time of this year. In fact, when this whole decade started, nobody could have predicted this. No one could have. So, this probably would have been the weekend where, if we didn't already, we would have celebrated my brother's 32nd birthday. My brother who I talked about on Monday, actually. And the thing of it is, I'm certain we would have done something big because we would have probably spent because here's the thing, my brother's birthday was on Monday, as you all know. But Easter was the day before. Now, some people would think, well, we'll celebrate your brother's birthday when, we have Easter celebration. Well, yeah, but it would have depended on what we would have ended up doing. Because a couple times my family has gotten together for brunch. Other times we've gone out. And my brother and his wife are very overprotective of my nephews. So, regardless of whether or not this coronavirus thing was going on, I don't think I would have seen him that weekend anyway. No, that's not a knock to him anyway. He's actually being smart about what's going on. It's just, I gotta think of what my brother's personality is and what he'd be doing whether this coronavirus thing was going on or not. So, I'm certain I probably would have because at the very least I did message him. And, he messaged me. And you guys all saw that I dedicated Monday's video to him for his birthday. So it's all good. Provided that if nothing was going on right now, and by nothing I mean the coronavirus thing, and we didn't already celebrate my brother's birthday this past weekend, it probably would have been this weekend that we were going to celebrate it. But if not, this really would have just been an average weekend. I guess considering that, everyone is doomed to be inside for a while, every weekend until everything subsides is doomed to be quote unquote average. People have plans coming up, like places to go, but now their trips are canceled because, again, the whole coronavirus thing. Oh. Personally, I'd rather just wait until summer before I really try attempting anything too, I guess, grandiose when it comes to how I'd want to celebrate my time off. Actually, when it comes to teachers, well, actually, they're still busy. I also do, because actually my, how am I going to say this? If you recall, back in October 2018, my uncle got married, and the person that he married is, my age. So I definitely did ask, am I going to have to refer to you as aunt? And she's like, no, that's okay. So when I say my uncle's wife, know that that's what I'm talking about. She also is a teacher, and she's also feeling a little strain of not being able to do what she normally does. But one thing that she's been doing, I've seen a lot of people doing this as well. They've been being very constructive as to how they're spending their time off. And funny enough, she's actually been going to Cuca Lake every so often. So she checks on the A-frame. She checks on, my family's place. Needless to say, everything looks fine. Actually, just looking at Cuckoo Lake would be a nice thing to do right now. I'm still kind of bummed. I mean, again, if this coronavirus thing wasn't going on, one thing that definitely would have already happened was I totally would have done the polar bear plunge. I'm still kind of bothered by they cancel that too. Oh well. I mean, hopefully by the summer when everything is a lot better, you know, you're going to see me jump into Cuckoo Lake a lot. Who knows? I may be able to do it Memorial Day weekend. Think of that as sort of a preemptive polar bear plunge. That'd be pretty nice, huh? Wow. It's just it's so surreal just how many plans everyone had. And just because let's be honest, this is a new decade we're in. This is technically supposed to be a big year for a lot of people. Whether it was going to be a big year for me, would take some careful planning on my part, as per everyone else. But again, I don't really think anyone would have predicted this. And I was actually contemplating this just the other day. Me, as you all know, my grandfather passed away of cancer late last January. And it got me thinking, due to the circumstances that we're in now, and let's say that he was still alive, how would he respond to this? I tend to think that, provided that, he never did have cancer and, he'd still be with us, what would specifically be going on. And a few things come to mind. I mean, one, he'd be talking to my mother every single day, because that's pretty much what they did. In fact, full disclosure, it's kind of one of the reasons why I haven't seen my folks. Because, my mom will always, let's be honest, if you lose a parent or a loved one or anything of that nature, there is always going to be a sort of void that's never going to be filled. That's true. Regardless of how I feel about anyone in my family prior to their death, when they're gone, they're gone. And, nothing is ever going to replace who they were. Their personality, their identity, their uniqueness. And that's honestly something no one can ever take away from you either. And the fact that my mother did lose her grandfather, and again, with the coronavirus thing going on, of course she is worried out the wazoo for me, my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephews, everyone in our family. Again, she's a nurse, so she would be concerned about that. So, in a way, I guess the one thing I have been able to take away in a positive light from all of this really goes with what I said earlier. I've been using every single opportunity I can to visit my mother and father. And, it's only just my mother and father. And, it does sound kind of lame that a single 30-year-old man just sort of visits his mother and father because he has nothing better to do. But to be... Oh, sorry. You should turn off for a second. But to be fair, no one can really do anything right now. So, with the fact that my mother does need the company, and she may still be hurting even a little bit from the fact that, she did lose her father, seeing my parents may be the best thing I've been doing so far. And it's probably not even close. And that's not to say that I visit them all the time. No. I have some me time. In a way, making these videos is a sense of me time. Granted, whether I refer to making these videos as me time or not, I still enjoy making them. And that's never going to change. And that is yet another thing that no one can take away from me. I mean, you know, again, the only reason I'd ever really stop making videos is if I either kick the bucket myself, which, knock on wood, that's not going to happen, or making videos as a whole is just causing me all sorts of grave misfortune, which again, hopefully that won't happen either. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on the social media platforms, some of those occasions on YouTube. I'm very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy today. I'm hoping you all have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Get ready for the weekend. And remember, if you guys want to talk or channel with me here to London, always be back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.